It's like a greatest hits collection of missed layups. I can't even believe this is real. I just stumbled across of it. There's 2 different videos now floating around out there, and it's unbelievable.
Women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly,
this was the most successful women's tournament by the numbers. The most watched Elite 8 games, the most watched Final Four, which we're talking about millions of viewers.
You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Caitlyn Clark's game, who's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry based on her range and shooting the 3, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese. Stop it. Stop it. There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. On TikTok. He's put together a shitload of Angel Reese clips.
Angel Reese recently made a bold and somewhat controversial statement on her podcast, claiming that if she doesn't get a salary boost, she might just sit out of the WNBA. The declaration was grandiose, but the timing couldn't have been worse. Right after demanding more pay, Reese stepped onto the court and had a performance that was nothing short of disastrous. She finished 5 for 13, with one of her shots so off-mark it struck the bottom of the backboard as though trying to make a quick exit from the game. On her podcast, Unapologetically Angel Reese, along with her co-host Dejanay Carrington, discussed the possibility of withholding their talents from the league unless they received the financial compensation they felt they deserved. However, the irony was not lost on anyone, considering Reese's own performance was far from stellar. It seems like a bold stance, but when your argument for a higher paycheck is paired with a performance that might make even amateur players cringe, it's hard to take seriously. It's clear that Reese and other young players believe their star power, especially from the success of NIL deals, should translate into higher pay. Yet, while Reese was voicing her discontent, other players, like Caitlyn Clark, were busy showing why they deserved the spotlight. Clark's game was filled with highlights, record-breaking views, and an undeniable showcase of skill, while Reese's night was one to forget. In the end, demanding more money in the face of poor performance is a risky move, and Reese might have found herself in a tricky spot, questioning her own leverage in the league. So, is the WNBA truly quaking at the thought of a boycott, or is Angel Reese just giving fans another reason to laugh? Well, it's about to get real interesting because we're diving into the unforgettable lowlights from Reese's so-called superstar run. After boldly stating on her podcast that she expects to be one of the best players in the world, Reese's next move was supposed to prove her worth. But instead, it delivered something far more laughable. Right after threatening to sit out if her salary demands weren't met, Reese stepped onto the court in a game against Aaliyah Boston's Vinyl Basketball Club in the unrivaled league. This was her moment to show the world why she deserved a pay raise. But instead of dazzling with superstar moves, Reese's performance was a tutorial on how to miss layups. We're talking about wide-open attempts, point-blank shots, and bunnies that didn't just rim out. They clanged off the backboard like someone had set her shot meter to clutch fail. The timing of this disaster couldn't have been more unfortunate. Just days after claiming her WNBA salary didn't even cover her rent, Reese put up a performance that had fans wondering if her rent was due during the game. At one point, it almost felt like her teammates avoided passing her the ball, perhaps out of secondhand embarrassment. Let's take a step back. Reese's rookie contract pays her around $73,000 for the year, part of a 4-year, $325,000 deal, which is pretty standard for WNBA newcomers. Yet, Angel went viral on TikTok, ranting that her WNBA salary didn't even cover one of her bills. She revealed her rent was a staggering $8,000 per month, totaling $96,000 annually, which is more than her entire WNBA salary. Now, we're not saying she can't live the lifestyle she wants, but when your rent is more than your income, maybe it's time to rethink your financial strategy. It's called budgeting, Angel. Instead of reevaluating her situation, Reese doubled down on her boycott threat, making it clear on social media that she was serious. She wasn't backing down. But here's where it gets even more amusing. One of her biggest concerns? That future rookies, like USC's Juju Watkins, could end up earning more than her. Reese even complained, the ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract, but the ones after that are probably going to be making more than us. Angel, that's not injustice. It's just how professional sports contracts work. You signed a rookie deal, and whether or not the league adjusts salaries in the future, you're locked into the contract you agreed to. That's how it works in every professional league. Imagine if second-year NBA players demanded raises simply because the salary cap increased. That's not how it functions. If I'm an NBA owner, I didn't build my fortune by throwing away millions on players with no real return. If Reese and her peers want to sit out, then by all means, let them. Now, personally, I'd miss watching the Fever and players like Caitlyn Clark. But let's be real, I wouldn't miss much else. And let's not ignore the WNBA's financial reality. Last season, the league reported a loss of around $40 million. They're not exactly raking in NBA-level revenue. The WNBA can't afford to rip up contracts just because Angel Reese is unhappy with hers. Sure, they've lost millions, but the NBA would probably be applauding if the WNBA stars sat out. That way, the NBA wouldn't have to foot the bill for the WNBA's losses. But let's cut to the chase. Performance matters. If you're going to demand special treatment, you need to play like a star. Instead, we're watching Reese miss layups as if she's auditioning for a construction job. If she wants to prove she's worth a higher salary, it's time to show it on the court. Because right now, the only thing she's leading the league in is missed shots. But the numbers paint a different picture. Angel Reese may talk about being one of the WNBA's faces, but the viewership numbers don't back it up. So who's really behind the surge in women's basketball's popularity? The data is crystal clear. Reese's belief that she's a major draw doesn't hold up when compared to Clark's undeniable influence. From record-breaking attendance to dominating TV ratings, Clark is in a league of her own. Reese may be overestimating her impact, while Clark continues to lead the way for the sport's growth. The numbers don't lie. Caitlyn Clark is the true force behind the rise of women's basketball. One player is making noise about wanting more money, while another is consistently selling out arenas and breaking viewership records. As one analyst summed it up perfectly, if I'm an NBA owner, I'd miss watching the Fever. I'd miss watching Caitlyn Clark, but I wouldn't miss much else. That statement speaks volumes. Caitlyn Clark's influence far outweighs the claims of those who believe they're as crucial to the WNBA's success. The future of women's basketball isn't built on podcast rants or empty threats. It's being shaped by real talent, authenticity, and a player who lets her game speak for itself. The contrast between the two could not be more stark. Humility versus entitlement, substance versus spectacle. And the fans are showing their preference with their views, ticket sales, and engagement. The numbers speak for themselves. The real question is, will Angel Reese ever realize this? Or will she continue to live in her own bubble while the rest of the world moves forward? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on the screen and we'll see you in the next one.